Working on my 6.7 Powerstroke steering, I realized how important this part is that I never even noticed was in there. I'm gonna get this thing replaced and show y'all some of the process as I replace a couple other parts, get this steering going down the road straight after this thing's been in a wreck. And then I took it rock crawling. I don't trust it.
Go, 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 go. Almost there, back. There it goes, there it goes.
We got the heat working in this unit now, and it is actually not too cold outside, but I want to take the edge off. I got shorts on and just a hoodie, and I'm excited to have the heat in here. Recently did an install video of the final 4-link and coilover because I had done the other side previously and compared it to the Ready Lift that was on here. That leaves me with the steering I want to upgrade. This factory stuff, this truck was in a wreck. It was hit by an 18-wheeler. Oh, that doesn't look healthy. Kind of sideswipe, so I don't trust the steering, and that's why I've replaced everything from the radius arms, pitman arm. What I have left here is this drag link, the track bar, the tie rod assembly, and big ball joint that I got to replace track bar ball joint right there. It's gonna do a whole front end rebuild on this thing. She's gonna be going down the road straighter than... Comment something that's straight. I can't think of anything to say. I'm running out of words. I'm just going to put this thing together. So you can see I've got an adjustable track bar from BDS. Was an option I got with my 4-inch lift kit. I opted to get that as well. And then from Kryptonite, I got a new tie rod assembly as well as a new drag link. So I've also got a clamping system for Fox dual steering stabilizers, which I already had on here for a little bit, but I took them off to do the painting and stuff, so we're going to get that to where it will go onto the Kryptonite stuff. Planning to get rid of any spacers in this whole system. I'm getting rid of the Ready Lift spacer that was on here. I'm not using the BDS spacer for the anti-sway bar. I'm just using Kryptonite longer end links here, which I have in a box in the bed of the truck that I realize I'm not going to be able to reach until I lower the truck back down, but that's all right. I'm not spacing down the bump stops. I'm going to do Fox gas bump stops at some point. Didn't want any spacers. Going for coilovers, 4-link, and in the rear I got completely new leaf springs, so that'll be coming up soon too. What I mean by spacers is like any drop bracket, or really a spacer like lift. The coil spring here before with the Ready Lift had a metal spacer on top, and I just don't like how any of that stuff looks. It's easier, it's cheaper, totally works, it's safe. I'm just going for a nicer fit and finish on this, and that's why I'm getting rid of stuff like that, little drop brackets and things, just to make it that much cleaner. Y'all let me know what y'all think of that. Same with the rear. I don't want big old lift blocks in there. It already has the Ready Lift blocks. That's like a 5-inch block, maybe 6-inch. This is a 4-inch Ready Lift kit, so I don't know exactly what size block that is. That looks like about 5 or so inches. And I would say we're going to do either the factory block or maybe even no block if I can get away with it with brand new BDS springs. I've already done one step here. I've taken off the track bar and matched it up with my BDS one to get the length the same as well as the orientation. So I got that set already. That is at the length to match this. I had to track down these little square pieces that have offset holes where this bolt goes through. They're little tabs for basically setting the track bar, and that has different settings based on 4 or 6-inch lifts. So with a 4-inch lift like this, you'll see the bolt is a little bit closer to the outside of the truck over here by the diff. There's a hole in there, and if you flip that tab around, it'll be closer to the center of the truck or to the passenger side. So I had to pay attention to that. This is set for the 4-inch kit, which basically makes the track bar slightly shorter than the 6-inch position would. So if you have the 6-inch lift, same piece here, same factory track bar will work. I'm just doing the adjustable one because it gives you a little bit more fine tuning with the alignment, because I would like to be able to adjust this lift at some point if it's not sitting exactly how I want it. We're at like the lowest setting here, and this thing could get a lot higher. At least, 6-7-inch lift compared to the 4-inch kit that it's set at right now. A lot of adjustability, and that's what I'm looking for here. Definitely already took these bolts off before. They're not that easy. Oh, now that one fell out. Wow, that was some good timing right there, boys. That goes like that. There we go. All right. I was like a second away from just dropping that thing on accident. Somebody's having a good time riding a dirt bike out there. I'm jealous. Adjust these to where they're just about exactly the same length so that my alignment should be set. Obviously, I'm gonna go get an alignment so they can improve it from there. I want to get it pretty close. About 61 inches. 60 inches. We're going back and forth a bunch of times measuring. I've got these both set to the same length, and I wanted to compare them real quick so you can see the Kryptonite one has a wider center section, so you can see it goes, here, let me line these up better. You can see the center section goes closer to the ends and is bigger than the factory one, so that's where you're getting some strength there. And then these outer, tie rod edges here are a little bit thicker from what I can tell, at least wider. The threads look to be about a similar size, but these have like a clamp style here that's kind of weird looking, honestly. And then these just have these lock nuts on it, which is pretty simple and looks strong, and you can see big wrench locations there to tighten those down. So feeling good about that. Looks like a similar design on the outer ends here, except this has a lot of rubber on it. It looks more contained, so actually a little bit cleaner looking there. The other end here on the driver's side is a nice beefy ball joint style thing there. So we'll go ahead and slap that in there, see if that looks like it's going to be straight. And again, we'll do like a shop alignment. We are quite a ways away from worrying about the alignment on this thing because I have a whole body swap to do still, but want to get it set pretty close to factory so that it's at least going in the right direction when I first drive it. And then we'll take it to an alignment shop once we got the ride height set, the coilovers. I'll be happy with the height front to back. I don't want it to be squatting or nose diving or anything. I want it to sit nice and level, and I got to figure out all the weight for that, and then we'll get an alignment. So for now, I'm gonna put this in, but right now actually I want to get the drag link done because the drag link and these are connected through the same nut. It has like a shaft going through it. I'm gonna take that out and check out the Kryptonite one for it as well. It's starting to rain, but I've been hoping to potentially modify this Super Duty tie rod assembly for the crew cab long bed truck, because this is how big around it is versus the toothpick that is on this frame from this Dana 44 front axle that came from a late 70s truck. So I'm making it four-wheel drive and I want to put 37s on it. I'd like to do something bigger. So what do y'all think? Should I just get a kit that replaces that for an old truck, or should I try to make this Super Duty one work because it's so big and I already have it? The rain started rushing me, but the old Dana 44 70s front axle, the whole tie rod assembly there, that little toothpick is 57 inches wide, whereas the newer Super Duty one's like 60-ish, 60 and 3/4, maybe 61 inches. So I have up to about 3 inches I need to shorten it, and I only have about 2 inches total of adjustability. So I could potentially cut and weld it right in the middle, and it'd probably be stronger than the toothpick in there. What do y'all think about that? All right, got the old drag link, shiny and new. About 43.5. Got it pretty close. I think we're gonna be good there. And I got grease fittings and cotter pins, so everything I need right there. And then I think I have one more for this big ball joint that I got to replace track bar ball joint right there. So gonna do a whole front end rebuild on this thing. Planning to cut this ball joint shorter so I can get the press in there without it kind of moving all over the place. And you can see how easy it is to move around. It's not like completely shot. It's definitely, 100,000 miles. It seems about right. Cut the boot off. I'm gonna cut it shorter so my ball joint press will fit in there. Big cup over the outside so this can come up and then just push right on the little nub after I cut it. See if I can get that out and get the new Kryptonite part in. There we go. She's probably hot, but ball joint out for that track bar. See, I cut it off flush so I can get the tool in there. Now, I've heard putting them back in is a whole nother chore. Trying to get that tool in there upside down and tighten it down from the top. Hopefully I have enough room, but got that sucker out. This bad boy from Kryptonite, it's got a grease fitting on top. got a lot to put in, and also has a spot for a cotter pin and a snap ring. So it's got a snap ring holding on the bottom, unlike the factory one that just relies on it being pressed in. Apparently this is a common wear item anyway, so mine wasn't that bad, but it was time for a new one. 100,000 miles. It's gonna be right now. It started going crooked, which was really concerning, but we got it sorted out. That is very close. This right here needs to touch that, and it's just a wafer thin gap there. A couple more turns, I think we'll be there. That is the ball joint, that's the adapter. All this stuff, that's an adapter. The bottom of the ball joint's coming through here where the threads are, so a little bit more. Let's see if we can get her in. Might have to grab my purse. Why were you stuck? I just need the ball joint to move, and it's so new and stiff, I have to... Okay, what do we got going on here? All right, so I just hit this little edge right here. That seems fine. I realize flashlight is very good lighting, but it's right in my way. Let's do that a different way. Remember when I was like, enough room, definitely, maybe? We might not have enough room. Okay, I think she just popped into place. Let's see here. Yeah, that boy's in there. Shoo! At this point, the track bar ball joint's been installed and painted, waiting on that to dry. I also have decided to wait till I get a new bolt for the track bar. So on the other side there, the bolt that actually holds the track bar in place, that gets torqued to like 450 foot-pounds, and they are supposed to be a one-time use because it stretches the nut on it. I could get a nut in town locally, but the bolt and nut combo at a Ford dealership is like an hour away, so I'm gonna try to get one of those soon. But right now it's about to be Christmas Eve. Don't know if I'm gonna get that quite yet, but I want to do that. I'm gonna keep chipping away at the drag link and the tie rod assembly there. But as far as installing all that, I want to wait till I get that new bolt, because this is the farthest thing back, and I don't want to be like hitting them on each other because they're nice and shiny new, and I want this thing to be pretty clean. I'm replacing every nut and bolt on this thing, you might say. Trying to do this thing the right way. Takes me forever. I overthink it a lot. I get analysis paralysis, but I want this thing to be safe for my family, and I'm going to get back to work on it. So y'all come back, check it out, see if we can get this thing all done once this paint's dry.